Blake. I work here at High Alpine Rentals in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today I'm going to give you like the most high quality, most professional video you've ever gotten about how to use this big RV that we call the Forester. Make sure you watch this video, take notes, watch it again, like watch me talk about RVs multiple times. It's going to make your arrival to our facility about a 30-minute process versus a 2-hour process, because this thing has a lot to go over. So make sure you watch this video multiple times and let us know if you have any questions prior to your arrival. When you show up at our facility on the day of, you are going to park in the parking lot up front. You're going to go to the front office. At that point, you're going to be handed a clipboard which has a piece of paper and a pen, and you're going to go around and take notes of any damages or issues that you may find on the unit. We'll follow that through with additional, if you have any questions or anything, we'll take our photos of the RV itself and send you on your way. Before your arrival, we do check to make sure that the tire PSI is up to the standard of the tire. We check the oil, windshield wiper fluid, the full chassis. We do about a 50-point inspection before you get here to make sure the vehicle's in full safety working order, as well as a full tank of unleaded gasoline and a full tank of propane. We're going to get this video going now. The cab, if you've ever driven a U-Haul, you've driven this RV, except this is like the bougie U-Haul cab. It's on the E450 Super Duty chassis. Our tires have brand new tread, always up to standards for DOT. You can see here the cab is very, very simple. On the outside, there is an additional TV. If like the 4 TVs inside the camper aren't good enough, you got one on the outside. Now, in all seriousness, it's cool to sit outside, drink beer, watch TV. These doors, I'm just going to show you how it works on this one. All the compartment doors that I have open right now operate in the same way. You turn these to lock it in, and then the code to the lock here is 216. So you punch in 216, turn it to the right, and it opens it up. Here you just have additional storage. Your main RV door. The back of this is your furnace. Here's your propane tank. This propane tank can be filled up at any U-Haul, Tractor Supply, or our personal favorite, it's here in Colorado Springs, it's called Bill's Equipment and Supply. They are going to fill it up for you. You just drive in and say, hey, I'm here to get some propane, get me taken care of, and they'll fill up the propane tank. The only thing you need to do is to make sure that this valve right here is in the open position. Open position is all the way to the left. If it's not all the way to the left, certain things like the furnace, the hot water heater, and your stovetop aren't going to work. You do have outlets here, so you can plug in at the campsite. If you're still in the boombox phase, you can plug in your boombox and use it at your campsite. Dualies in the back, additional storage area. Backside of this is your hot water heater. And as you saw when you reserved this camper, unfortunately we do not allow awning usage. Reason being is awnings are back ordered right now, and if this awning is used and it gets damaged, it's going to take about $5,000 for us to get that fixed, which comes out of your pocket. You don't want that. This right here, your RV does have a water tank on the camper. That water tank on the camper is for what we call boondocking or dry camping. So let's say you're like trying to get into Yellowstone, your kid's like, Mom, I gotta pee. You're like, go use the bathroom. I'm gonna show you where the water pump switch is on the inside of the camper. You'd hit the water pump switch. It would pump water out of that onboard water tank. To fill up that onboard water tank, you just stick the water hose right into this little spigot inlet right here. The backside of this camper is amazing for storage. You have a ton of storage. It's all the way passed through. So, I mean, also if your kids are loud and obnoxious, you can stick them in the back of, loud and obnoxious like that truck right now. You can stick them in the back, let them go sleep back there. Okay, the ladder. For no reason at all should anybody be climbing up on the ladder to go onto the roof, to stargaze, peek on the neighbors, whatever. Nobody should be going up there, super dangerous. There is a 2-inch receiver hitch if you do wish to tow anything, you must contact us to let us know. Our system in the RV is going to tell us if you are pulling weight, so make sure you let us know prior so there's no sneakiness going on. Works perfect for a 2-inch receiver, bike rack, all that good stuff. We always make sure your RV is up to date on registration. Okay, now coming to this side of the RV, you're going to see you do have a slide out. This slide out is only to be out when driving. Never should you drive with the slide out pushed out. Okay. Right here we have the poop hose. The poop hose is stored in the back of the bumper. When you're done using the poop hose, you push it right back in there. You put the cap on there, and you put this pin right down in there. Maybe do that backwards there. Yep. Push it down in there. Use a little cotter pin. Lock it into place. Put the cap on there. Give it some good slaps. Good to go. Okay. This is the other side of that storage compartment. What these little orange blocks are, the RV does have automatic leveling system. We're going to show you how to use that here momentarily. If for some reason there's a large incline or space between the leveling jacks, which are located on the bottom, you can see they're in the down position right now. If for some reason it keeps pushing down into the rocks and you just need more platform between the ground and the RV block and the RV leveling system, you can grab these orange blocks and just stack them up. There's a whole case of them here that you can use. Okay, so next thing we have is this little black fill here. What this is when you're at your campsite, when it comes out, it actually hardens out and it keeps your poop hose off the ground. So you can kind of have it setting like that to go into the ground, so elevation and gravity and all that doesn't go against you. Here, you open this up, it even tells you sewer water connection. You're gonna have somebody hold it up. Me, all I got is myself, somebody in the head. Okay, so you have multiple, we'll say multiple, you have two different things on an RV. You have your gray tank and your black tank. Your gray tank is your sink and your shower water. Gray tank, gray water. Your black tank is your sewer water. Black tank, sewer water. Okay. Right here, you're gonna see you have city water connection. What that city water connection is, when you are at a campsite with full hookups, well, with water hookups, you're going to take a water hose. Actually, the one you're going to use is that blue one over there, or the white one with the blue filter. That is, it has a pressure regulator and it has a water purifier on it. You're going to take that and you're just going to put it in here and you're going to screw that on so it's nice and tight on there. You're going to turn on the water at your campsite and it's going to automatically pressurize the RV. When you are not at the campsite, remember that water tank that's on board the camper, you're going to be using that. That is going to require a water pump. This does not require a water pump. Remember, city water connection, no water pump. Boondocking on the side of the road, you need a water pump to get the water out of the tank. Okay, you do have an outside shower here. This here, you should not use this at all. Just please, for our sake here at High Alpine, just forget that that exists. Okay, so now we're going to jump back to the sewer. You're going to notice, remember earlier I was saying gray, sink and shower water, black is your poop water. This little cap here is going to be covering that outlet when you're not using it. When you need to dump your tanks, you unscrew this little cap here, you grab your sewer hose, and you just come up from underneath, and you're going to see how it has little teeth on it, and then this thing has little nipples. You're going to let the teeth bite the little nipples, and you're going to twist it just like that, and it attaches on. And then this piece here is going to go into the ground at your campsite. Oh, here we go. It's going to go into here, and this goes into the ground at your campsite. Make sure it's nice and snug in there, otherwise you're going to get poo all over your shoes, and you have to use the outside shower to wash your feet off the poo. Okay, so when you're at the campsite and your sewer hose is hooked up to the RV septic inlet at your campsite, hooked up at a campsite, leave the gray valve open, the black valve closed. Leaving the gray valve open is going to allow you to have your shower water and your sink water drain out every time you need to take a shower or use the kitchen sink. Now before you leave, you're going to come out here and close the gray valve and open the black valve. That black valve is going to allow your sewer to drain out. When you're done with draining the sewer and you can feel the hose and no more fluids coming out, you're going to close that black valve and you're going to go inside and you're going to turn on the kitchen sink for about 2 minutes. You're going to let that gray water kind of fill up a little bit. You're going to come back out here and open up this gray valve and let that sink and shower water clean out all this poop and everything that you just put through the hose. It just kind of cleans it out. When you're done, close that gray valve and you're good to go. Now let's say you're going through the Tetons National Park and you want to use their free dump station that they have on site when you get into the park. At that point, you would hook up the sewer hose in the same way. You would open up that black valve and let the sewer drain, close the black valve, open up the gray, and let the gray flush out that sewer that was just in the hose. So just remember that for when you just need to dump your tanks. If you dump your tanks and the panel inside is still reading 2/3 full, don't be worried. It's just a piece of toilet paper that's clogging the sensor. The sensor is smaller than your pinky nail, so don't get too alarmed by that. Okay, so that covers the sewer. If you have additional questions about the sewer, just go to YouTube, type how do I dump my RV tanks, and there's going to be just thousands of videos on there from experts on how to dump their sewer tanks. Okay, this is a gasoline vehicle. When you're pulling into your gas station, just look for your back tire, and that's going to tell you, or your middle of the RV marker light, and that's going to tell you that your gas tank is right there. Now when you're leaving the gas station, you never want to drive out and turn to the right. When you turn to the right, this area from the back axle to the back of the camper is going to clip that gas station post. We see it all the time. Just pull out of the gas station and turn left to leave. Before you pull into a gas station, restaurant, wherever, just always plan, how am I going to get out of this parking lot? How am I going to get out from pumping the gas, grabbing my Chick-fil-A, my Starbucks, whatever. Just always plan how you're going to get out of the parking lot. And remember, you have a lot of rear swing when you're making turns. Okay, next thing is the electrical. It is a 30 amp electrical RV. I'm plugged in right now. This power cable unplugs and plugs back in. It's a 30 amp. When you get to your campsite, I always recommend before pushing the slide out is to always come out here, make sure your water hose is going to reach the water spigot, and the electrical is going to hit the electrical, and the sewer is going to hit the sewer. So that way, because some of these are kind of spaced out, some are right bunched up, but always make sure your 3 connections are going to reach that campsite's inlets before you push out the slide out, level it out, all that kind of fun stuff. When you plug in your electrical to the electrical pedestal, always flip off the breakers, plug that 3-prong 30 amp cord into the outlet, and then flip it on. Go inside, check your microwave. That's going to be the indicator if you have power or not. Okay, so looking back down here, you've got more storage space. Pretty nice. The back side of this is your trash can for the inside of the camper. Which was already open. It was already open. So this is how you take your trash out of the RV, just like this. I'm going to show you the inside of the camper on how you dump the trash down into it. Pretty sweet. So when you're at the gas station, you can just like pop it off, dump out your trash pretty quickly. Okay. Underneath as well, we have 2 compartments here. Those are locked. You shouldn't need to go in there. Just keep them locked up the entire time. Your front cab is very simple front cab. Okay, so now we're going to jump inside the RV and go over all the inside amenities. So before you come into the camper, you're going to notice a couple of things. The first thing is going to be your fire extinguisher here at the entrance of the door. We ensure that it's green before you leave on your trip. So if you do use this, please let us know. Okay, so we do have a departure checklist here. This departure checklist is going to tell you just all the things you need to look at before you leave. Never get in a rush, never get in a hurry, and just go through this checklist and make sure everything is good to go. There's a campsite arrival checklist as well. I mean, there's just so much in this booklet that you can use to make sure that everything is going to be set before you leave. You do have solar on top of this camper, which is freaking awesome, so it's going to constantly be charging your RV. For no reason should you be touching this panel right here at all. These are your furnace, that's where your heat comes out. This is your battery disconnect switch, that should always be left on. Right here are some additional lights for the rig. This is your breaker box. If you have to get into this for any reason, you should be calling me so I can walk you through it. Okay, so now we're gonna come inside the camper here. We're gonna go over this control panel. This control panel does have a little bit of glitch in it. I turn it on by clicking the little square here, and you're gonna see a home button. When I hit the home button, you're gonna see lights 6 on, turn off all lights, turn on all lights. If I want to turn off all lights, I click it, turns it off. Turn them on, just like that. And now I can pick and choose which ones I want to turn on and off. Pretty sweet. Okay, the next one. Main slide. This is how you control the slide out. Just be patient with it. Takes a little bit of time. Main slide is the slide out on the driver's side. You push in to push it in. Push the plus side to push it out. You do have a special note here. Make sure your park brake is set and the engine is running before operating the slides or the jack system. So vehicle on, emergency brake engaged to use the slide out. You should always 100% check the area around the slide out on the inside to make sure nothing is in the way. Because if something's in the way, it's gonna break the slide out. So, and if it breaks the slide out, if you're doing a mobile technician job, that is not something you can fix right away, and you'll be stuck for probably weeks during the peak season. Alright, so push the back button. Now I'm on devices. If I hit devices, that's going to take me to the thing you're not going to use, the awning, the generator, leveling system, lighting, monitor panel, slides. So this kind of does everything that the other panels does. So if I hit generator, this is a propane generator. So the propane tank needs to be on. To get the generator turned on, this generator is going to give you 30 amp power, just like if you're at the campsite. You need 30 amp power to operate the air conditioner unit, your outlets, and your microwave. This generator is going to give you the same power that campsite power gives you, so you can operate the AC, the microwave, the outlets, and the TV. To get it to work, I just flip it over to on, and it's going to do its thing. You can hear the generator when it finally turns on. There it goes. Same thing with the generator. You're going to wait to see if the microwave turns on. Once the microwave turns on, you're going to know you have power. We make sure the generator is properly serviced before you're picking up the camper as well. Flip it to off. Okay, the next thing is going to be leveling. For this part, I highly recommend to have everybody but yourself get out of the camper unless they can stay really spooky still, because what you're going to do, you would hit auto level and it just retract all the jacks, because I just did that. So once it's done retracting the jacks, it will give me multiple options here. If you were to disengage the parking brake, it is also going to retract the jacks. Okay, so now it's going through the auto level process of leveling the jacks. You can see it here, extending left jacks, please remain still. It's going to do that until each side here stops blinking. Just remember to always check to make sure that your jacks are up before moving. Okay, so while it's doing that, I'm just going to go back the screen, if it will let me. Yep. Okay, same thing, lighting, sliders, monitor panel. So very simple system here. Now if I want to go to monitor panel, what that's going to do, it's going to give me all these little options: electric water heater, gas water heater, water pump, water tank heater, and then we have our gauges to see how much poop we have in the black tank, how much fresh water we have in the tank, how much sink and shower water we have in the tank, and how much liquid propane we have in the LP tank. Okay, electric water heater. Electric water heater is if you're at a campsite and you're hooked up to electrical at all times. Gas water heater is if you are boondocking and you want to heat up that 6-gallon water tank. Water pump, that's how we get the water at that onboard water tank. That's for if you want to take a shower, use this kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, or the toilet. You would flip it on, and you only leave it on when you are using it. When you're not using water, turn off the water pump. Water tank here, that's for you psychos that like to camp with us whenever it's like 20 degrees outside and snowing and you don't want the tanks to freeze. That's how you keep your poo and your water from freezing. You just hit the water tank heater. Okay, black tank, you want to make sure you dump that when it's at about 2/3 full. Anything over 2/3 full, it's going to start getting kind of risky. Then you got your fresh tank, your water tank, and your gray tank. Okay, now we're going to go into the inside of the camper here. Looking at this, you're gonna notice this is like a freaking awesome layout. This is honestly, like, I swear, like every time I get a new camper, I'm like, this is my favorite camper. So this week, this is my favorite camper until we get another one next week. The reason I like it is spacious. It has an awesome floor plan. I mean, it's legit. When the slide out is pushed in, your kids can still use the bunks. You can still use the bathroom pass through to sleep on the back bed. I mean, it is amazing how well thought out they did this coach. Even to the point where you have this pantry system with an actual locking system that pulls out, and you have all this room. I mean, that's amazing. A lot of coaches, they don't think them out whenever they build them. So if you're renting this unit, well played. So we're just gonna start on the front of the coach and work our way back. Of course, we couldn't go with like a 22-inch TV. We had to go with like a 32-inch TV up here, so you have a ginormous TV. It's on a swivel system, so when you're driving, you can swivel it out, sit here, and watch TV. These green little curtains here, what you do with those, that's your privacy shade. You would tuck that, you would lift this up, and you just tuck it underneath this and drape it down. These seats are just going to stay just like they are. We do provide pillows. We don't provide linens unless you're delivery, flying in from out of state, or coming in from like DIA Airport or Colorado Springs Airport. These are recliner seats. How you get them to recline, there's a little button here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. This one bougie, it threw me off. It's electrical. And it has a USB charger port right in the middle, so while you're driving, your kids will be back here just chilling, plugging in their phone, watching TV, telling you how bad your driving is. I mean, look at that, holy cow, this thing is like all the way back almost. Sweet. Yeah, so you can sleep in this thing, that's cool. This middle piece does not fold up, so it's just a recliner set. Now the bed, once this thing gets done reclining. Okay, so this bed here, the dinette, how this works, you are going to take these cushions here, very slowly unvelcro them from the back rest. The other one does the exact same. I'm not going to put this down fully, but you would take the cushions, you lift up the cushions, take the dinette, lift up, and then pull it away from the wall, and it's going to fold all the way down. Now when it's done folding all the way down, it's going to rest on the bottom of the dinette here. And those cushions, you're going to play a little bit of Tetris to get them to line up to where you got the two back cushions on top, and it's going to make into a bed. Now to get this table back into place, you're going to push it up at an angle, let it bite into the wall, just like that. Pretty easy. Alright, You do have plenty of cabinetry space, super nice. There is a skylight here. To get the skylight, you are just going to reach up, grab it, and push it right back. So tons of lighting in here, which is nice. This here is a wireless phone charger. You just set your phone on it without its case on, and it will charge it. These window blinds, when you do the window blinds, take your time, pull on it, make sure the cushion's not in the way, but just take it, the cushion's still in the way. There you go. And it's gonna just go up. You should never be yanking on it, pulling on it, like, just be really careful with it. You do have a kitchen counter extender here. There's a little button on the bottom that you push in, and it pushes up just like that. Pretty sweet. Okay. This here is how you get to that trash can that I showed you outside. You just dump everything down there, and that's it. Before you drop off the RV, there are some quick little cleaning things that we have to go over. This trash can needs to be taken out prior to your arrival at our facility. 1 o'clock is a hard turn-in time, so everything needs to be out of the unit at 1 o'clock. We'll buy 1 o'clock. Keys back in our hands. That trash area needs to be cleaned out. Make sure there's no trash in the area. Everything's taken out. Second thing we're going to ask you to do is you are going to remove the top of this oven. Both pieces come out, and you're going to wipe that clean. The third thing, the microwave. If you spill anything inside the microwave, you'll take the tray out and you'll wipe it clean. Number 4, the refrigerator. If you spill anything inside of it, you'll wipe it out and clean up after yourself. And last but not least, the 5th thing. If you pee all over the toilet, we require that you wipe that down. And anything else that's just like excessively dirty, we just ask that you please just keep up after yourself. My cleaning fees are already like hundreds of dollars lower than other guys in the state, so we just ask you take care of our units, bring it back clean just like we give it to you. Now you don't have to like white glove it, clean it, just wipe down after yourself. That's all we ask. And then do your dishes and before you drop it off as well. Sorry, I said last but not least, but the dishes. So here's the sink. These are not cutting boards, so these should not be cut on. There's a cutting board in the kitchen that you can use. Just don't cut on top of our surfaces here. It's fake granite. When you hit the water pump, water would come out. We do provide scrubbers, Dawn-used soap. Okay, the oven here. How to work the oven? It is a gas oven. Of course, yep. So you just turn it to your desired. Turn it over to light. Turn this little guy on the left here. I'll do one more. So I push it in, push it to the left, and I turn my igniter until it lights. Same with the back. Now when I'm done cooking, I'm making sure that this little black dial is facing towards the sky. If not, you're probably going to get really lightheaded, pass out because of the gas. So don't recommend that. Before you put the ceramic glass back down, you must make sure that this is cool to the touch. Like don't touch it. Like you can hover your hand above it and see if it's warm. If it's hot, do not put the glass down. The glass will break into 1,000 little pieces. Convectional oven. It does have a convectional oven / microwave. Here are the steps on how to use that oven. Okay, going into the refrigerator. This refrigerator runs off battery and electrical. Going down the road, it pulls power off the electrical. When you are at a campsite, it is going to be pulling off the campsite power. Now, you can see it's a pretty large fridge. You have a lot of room in here. Really sweet. Tons of room. Okay, we already ran over that cabinetry earlier. Go over the bathroom a little bit. When you're driving, this door needs to be locked into place, like such. You have another cover here. Very basic. Here's your GFCI reset. If the outlets stop working, come check your reset. That's probably been tripped. To flush the toilet, all you do, you step down on the right here, and it's going to flush the toilet. We do provide toilet paper and all those other little necessities that you like. Here's a sweet spot to hang up the towels. Okay, coming into the bedroom, you have slider doors here. These doors, they do slide. when you're driving, you need to make sure that they are locked into place. Just do a quick little pull on it and see if it's locked. All right, the bedroom. Bedroom's super sweet. You have nice little curtains with nice little blinds to make it private back here. Those lights on the top there, they have USB charging ports on them. You can tap the lights to get them to turn on. Now right behind you on the wall, that is your air conditioner control system. It's very self-explanatory. You just push the buttons to get the desired setting, heat, furnace. You never want that air conditioner to be below 70 degrees. I know 70 degrees doesn't really seem like that cold, but if you end up closing all these vents around the camper, you always want at least 50% of these vents open. Any more than that, it's going to freeze the AC and break it, which you will be responsible for. Also, 70 degrees is the coldest it can go before it starts running into the issues of freezing itself out. 70 degrees in a camper this small, the cubic feet, it's going to feel like 50. It's cold. You got your TV, you got more storage area in the back here, including behind the TV, there's storage. Great little organizer kits there. Make sure this TV is fully locked in before you start driving. Another slider door here. And then your kiddos, they have their own TVs that they can use during the drive. Pretty sweet. Here's some areas to like hang up clothes to if you need additional clothes hanging space. That really is everything that we go over on this camper. Hope you like this high quality video. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us. During peak season, we do get about 100 plus phone calls a day. So please be patient with us if you call us and we don't answer. Just shoot a text message to the phone number that you find on Google and we'll get back to you pretty quickly, usually the same day. We look forward to hosting you. If you need anything, just reach out and get you taken care of. Have a good day.